Food has this amazing power and ability to bring community together. It is the core to absolutely everything in humanity. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. It's a direct relationship between the community and the farmer within an area. And that customer and the farmer commit to each other for a whole growing season. That customer pays up front or weekly, and they get a share of the bounty the farmer harvests each week. And they are part of that for the growing season. Growing food and using CSA is a beautiful tool which helps community connect directly to their farmer, brings people together over a whole growing season. Hey, I'm Britt and I am the friendly farmer at Tomtit Farm here in Matangi, Waikato. Tomtit Farm is a market garden. We have the CSA, we've got the farm fridge, we have retail stores where we sell leafy greens, we have chefs and cafes that we work with, and then we have the flowers, we have events, and we also sell seeds. We do everything regeneratively, organically. Tomtit Farm is currently growing on about 1,300 metres squared of growing area, and we're currently feeding 40 CSA families a week of that space over the summer. It's mostly me. The farm's on the back of my parents' property, so I've got a lot of input from my family and run the farm on a CSA model.
By sourcing local from someone like Britt, who's growing in a way that's sort of maintaining soil health, trying to work with the ecosystem, I know that we're getting really nutrient-dense, healthy food, and that makes me feel good about what I can do for our family, but also for our local community.
CSA is the best business model because you have a direct relationship with your consumer. There's no middleman. You get 100% of the margin. You can choose how far your food wants to go and how easy and convenient you want to make that for yourself. You have a guarantee that all the food you're growing for that season is going to get sold. You're not going to have any waste. You don't have to worry about price fluctuation. You set the price at the start of the season, that price stays the same.
Because things are seasonal and grown when they should be grown, the pricing works out really well. The value comes from how long the vegetables last.
You also have the confidence that if an extreme weather event comes through, that your customers are still going to be with you for that event, and you have that opportunity to communicate that this is the reality of growing, and you might not have much food that week. So it's a guarantee of a consistent income stream for a whole season.
We pay up front because I want to do that in terms of like supporting the scheme, so that Britt knows that she's got some money to work through the system, and I want to be part of that with her, so that we take the risks as well.
Tomtit CSA, we call ours Tomtit Seasonal Harvest. We actually run 3 CSAs, and we've got a summer, a winter and a spring CSA, and they all run for different periods based on the season. So the summer's the longest one, that runs for about 15 weeks, the winter's a bit shorter, that runs for about 10 weeks, and the spring is about 10 to 12 weeks. Didn't have the time and the resources to go to market. That is why we set up a CSA right from the beginning. That subscription CSA model, starting small with one person, was manageable. With the support of my family, we've been able to grow that to 40 members. We've now got to the point that any more than 40, I'd have to employ somebody to help. It's really important for me to connect as a farmer to my community. We have a community Facebook group. All my customers join up so that we can communicate together, ask questions. I can post what's happening in the garden each week. We also create recipes and share recipes on that page, and they get a recipe in their box as well. We do like little challenges in our CSA. Sometimes we do like a food waste challenge. Like, what are your tips in the kitchen to make sure that you use up most of the veggies, and everybody kind of just gets on board and shares what they do. They make like a stock and then freeze it in ice cubes and keep that in the freezer. So we do kind of like activities like that so that we do build a bit more community amongst our CSA members and a bit more confidence and skills, I guess, within using up a whole box of veggies. And we also invite our customers out to the farm so they get to be out there, see me, see the field and actually visualise where their food comes from. And without having that, you don't understand how big or small it is or what it looks like. The CSA runs all year round, the veggies are always running all year round, and then coming into spring, summer season, we're bringing more people into nature-based spaces so that they can really connect with nature. We do that by growing flowers.
Welcome to Tomtit Farm.
And we only grow flowers for our community, so we grow them for pick your own. So people can come onto our farm and then get a bucket and wander around the garden and be part of it. And we've like strategically placed the flower beds so that they're weaved amongst the vegetable beds. When people are walking and picking their flowers, they see the bees, the butterflies, and they see the cabbages growing and the basil, and they know that it's an organic farm, and they kind of start to visualise and actually have that little connection with nature.
And then you've got a nice long stem and you can pluck some of these guys off. Yeah.
And I kind of like to think of it as like light a little nature flame inside of them when they come into the space. We collaborate with other local businesses to kind of build a bit more community around that. So we do little things like run yoga mornings, we do planter box workshops, we do pottery workshops, we're doing a watercolour one where people can paint and kind of like pick flowers from the garden and veggies and paint a watercolour picture. The most challenging barriers, I guess you can always start with the weather. So we've definitely had some challenges when it comes to crippling frosts and cyclones that can kind of wipe out your space. Every area within New Zealand is completely different. It's definitely been a learning curve, figuring out what grows in the space. Unless you know somebody directly that has experience within your area, it's not that easy. You kind of have to figure that out on your own, and then the weather can throw curveballs. Another barrier and a challenge is understanding our market and understanding our consumer behaviour and building confidence as a farmer in your customer base, especially when it comes to a CSA where customers are committing to us as a farmer for a long period of time without knowing who we are. So we really had to build that trust before we could just take on a huge community. And also CSA in New Zealand is a bit of a foreign concept. It's big overseas, but even still now, we're still like articulating and communicating what that actually is. With all my mistakes, I've learned so much. Yeah, looking back now, I probably wouldn't have got so excited by growing heaps of different varieties at the same time, all kind of within the same season without having much experience. I needed to do that to figure out what varieties work best. And then also the same with planting, is understanding my season. When we first started growing, I planted a whole lot of beans, and by the time they got off, they got smashed by a frost straight away. So I didn't quite understand the seasons when we first got going. Other relationships are with my direct local market. So I've got chefs like Carl that I work directly with in his restaurant.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. You come
Oh.
in there.
Lovely. Amazing.
We've been working with Carl for many years.
Not versions, right?
Do you want to come have a look at the garden and see what's happening? Carl has started The Green, which is an 8-seater restaurant based in Hamilton East, which champions local food. It is incredible. We work directly with him and grow all of the vegetables for his restaurant.
As chefs, we all know the journey that food takes sometimes. For us to have a farm like Tomtit, literally 6k from the restaurant, that's picking on a daily basis for us, is a real kind of point of difference. We talk about the seasons, what's great right now. We grow this, this, this and this. Okay, cool, I'm going to take this, this. To put that onto our menu is pretty phenomenal.
It's got a great flavour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Carl and I both have this passion for exciting flavours and foods. It's been this really amazing journey where I can grow foods in the garden and have Carl come out and taste them.
Spicy, nutty kind of flavour.
And we bounce ideas off each other, and next minute you see it on his menu. So it's been this really, exciting relationship.
They look super, super fun.
I know, I'm real excited. Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And then let me know if you need.
See you later.
Thank you, bye-bye.
I also have other local food businesses that I work directly with which add value to our systems, and then I get to support their businesses and help their businesses have a platform to sell and tap into that community that we create together. Also just other businesses to collaborate with in our event space to run yoga and to create a watercolour paint workshop. So those are like really important local businesses that are critical for creating a value system within our space. We have our own farm fridge, which is an honesty farm fridge, which is on the side of the cafe.
Having an honesty box and having small businesses that collaborate together, it creates more of a destination.
People are already going to have a coffee each day, so having your veggies next to that space means that there's access to veggies that's not changing people's consumer behaviour, so it brings convenience to the consumer. We use an app called My Honesty Box at our farm fridge that helps us as small-scale farmers have a retail space.
My Honesty Box is an app that allows people to purchase produce using an app on their phone. We provide a QR code which a vendor can attach to a store. Then the app scans the QR code, provides a list of produce. You can make your choices and pay through the phone.
That also gives us space within the community for people who aren't ready to be part of the CSA, but they can still purchase and have access to our veggies. Probably a bit over a third, close to half of the business would be the CSA. We've got retail and chefs, which would be probably a third. The summer gives that extra revenue with the events and the flowers. That's a really seasonal revenue, but it gives us that space to really pull it back in the winter where it's harder to grow. And then that farm fridge actually carries the whole way through quite consistently all year. In the summer, it's quite very focused on my current CSA and the flowers and the events, and then in the winter we take on less CSA, the flowers are gone, we pick up more retail, my farm fridge is more stock. I see a lot of potential for growth, and that doesn't mean feeding more families. There's always going to be a CSA and an amount of vegetables that we grow, but we're not going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're going to add more value to our existing community in that space. And for our growth, I guess the fun part of running your own business is that can really be what you want. But for me, it's fine-tuning the things that bring us joy and the things that add value. So it will be doing more events and workshops within that, growing your own food and building on that aspect, and also helping and working with other local growers to build on establishing more CSAs and building more, having confidence around more farmers getting into this space as well. So for our growth, it means working and collaborating with more people and adding value to our existing. I would advise anybody who is about to start a CSA to fully understand their season, their ability to grow food and their confidence in understanding that. With a CSA, you've got to have food available every week that's not the same food every week. So you have to have succession planting coming through. Understanding your local customers and food that they want to eat. You can throw in random foods like sorrels and herbies and different shaped kind of vegetables like kohlrabi, but you can't overwhelm them with those types of foods. Understanding your customers, understand your growing season and your ability to grow food.